school, heading into kindergarten for the first time this year. And the big moment is felt not just by them, but for their parents too. Joining me now is licensed clinical psychologist and author, Dr. Amber Thornton, to talk about this transition. Dr. Thornton, thank you for joining me. My sister comes to mind, but she had it a little bit easier because she's a school teacher. So she was able to visit my nephew throughout the day and check on him. But she said even that transition is hard, and it's hard for most parents.
It sure is. And I love this topic. It's actually timely for me. My son finished kindergarten last year. And the one thing that I like to say about this is that parents are so good at anticipating what their children might need as they transition from pre-K to kindergarten. But I think sometimes we don't realize how hard it can be for us. You know, your child might be experiencing a new school environment. They might be navigating new social experiences. They're going to be wanting more independence. But for us, that all can feel really hard. It can feel hard to realize that we have to gradually let go of some of that control. And I think that's what kindergarten kind of represents for a lot of us.
Absolutely, especially even if the kid is fine with the transition, when they just walk off and don't even look back, that could be hard for parents to adjust. So what did you do personally, Dr. Thornton, and professionally? What's your professional recommendations to help parents during that time?
For sure. So, of course, do all the things that you would have done to help prepare your child. I think that's first and foremost, but don't forget about yourself. So, in terms of how to support yourself, I think for parents realizing that this is not just a big transition for your child, but this is also a big transition for you. And whatever you need to do to get support around how it feels to have your child grow up or to kind of be pulled back a little bit. You might notice that you might feel a little out of the loop or disconnected as they navigate this new environment because maybe you aren't able to access it in the same way that you used to. So that might look like for you making sure that you engage in the school community. I know one thing that really helped me a ton was getting in a message group with the parents in my child's class, and that also helped to make sure that I had some support, but that I also was able to communicate and know what was going on. But I think also remember that this is a time where this is a transition for you as well. So really tapping into what you do to help yourself feel better, whether it's making sure you stick to your exercise routine or talking to your therapist or connecting with your friends, making sure you're pouring into yourself as you navigate this transition.
Yeah, and also understanding that those growing pains are natural, they exist and should be expected in a way. You mentioned being a part of a parent group, so you were able to get some support as well. What are some questions and conversations that parents and guardians can have with teachers to maybe open up some of that access so they'll feel a little more at ease?
Of course, yes. You know, I think you might be surprised at how teachers also want you to feel connected to the classroom environment and then also the school community. So it could be helpful to ask your teacher or just, hey, say, I'm interested in connecting with the parents. Is it okay if we start a group chat so that we could talk a little bit more? And also asking the teacher, what are some ways that I as a parent or we the parents can support your class, or how can we be a part of this community? That also can be really helpful too, while also respecting the boundaries of the classroom and making sure that the teacher is still able to do what she or he needs to do to instruct the classroom, but really letting the teacher know that you're interested and you're wanting to connect to the school community. But there also might be opportunities in the larger school community with regard to the Parent Teacher Association or the PTO even.
And I understand, too, it depends on the school, the teacher, and some of the policies they have in place. Because one thing my sister would do, she teaches third grade now, but she did start with kindergarten. She would send pictures, I guess it was like a group forum that she had with the parents of the kids every other day, whatever activity they were working on, so that the parents were in the loop and could actually see what was happening. And I think that helped a lot.
Yes, I think that is also helpful because parents want to know, we want to be involved, and those little reminders that your child is doing well and they're progressing can be really reassuring.
Finally, I want to end on our babies, the kids in kindergarten. Are there any signs that parents should look for in their children to make sure that everything is okay after they drop them off?
Yes. So what I will say is give it a few weeks. the first few weeks of adjusting, you might notice that things are a little unusual, may not be as typical for your child. You might notice that there's more crying, there might be more clinginess, there might be some hesitation or reservation around the classroom, and that is okay. I would say give it 3 to 4 weeks. Allow for that adjustment period to take its turn. If after that you're still noticing um, big emotional distress, clinginess, still feeling like there's a fear or reservation around being in the room, or even just verbally communicating to you that they're uncomfortable, I think that might be an indication to talk further with the teacher about how to better support the student entering into the classroom, or thinking of other supports, whether it's therapeutic support, working with a therapist or a psychologist to help your child with the transition further.
Dr. Thornton, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it. I know the parents, they want all the recommendations and information they can get, so we certainly appreciate it during